It's September 28th, 2014, and I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street News. Alright, I was pretty busy this weekend, so not a lot of stories this week. First off, tech workers now prefer mid-sized companies over startups for their first job. And that's kind of a go figure thing. I would rather work for a company that I know is going to at least be able to employ me for a few years, rather than working for a company that might fall apart tomorrow. But yeah, the numbers are in now. The study also found that more people new to the IT industry would rather work with startups, and that as people gained more experience, they shifted away from those and towards larger companies. Next up, consumer drives have shown to be more reliable than enterprise drives. So yeah, the same size hard drives, the enterprise versions fail more than the consumer versions sometimes. Not really. You know, I'm looking at the graph they have, and it really looks like it's evenly split. Some of the consumer drives last longer than the enterprise drives. Some of the enterprise drives do last longer than the consumer drives. I think what's more important about the data gathered here is that Seagate hard drives fail the most. Western Digital hard drives have a much lower failure rate, and then Hitachi hard drives have a slightly lower failure rate than those, which I would not have expected. I would have expected it to be Western Digital, Seagate, and Hitachi. So yeah, definitely check that article out if you're looking at hard drives and are seriously concerned about them breaking. Next up, of course, we've got people beating up on Apple. We've got the whole online putting your phone in the microwave thing, which isn't even part of the article that I'll be linking. That's just something that I've seen people on Facebook. First, what happened was somebody posted a picture saying that you can put your iPhone in the microwave to charge it. And then somebody else posted a picture saying that the first picture was fake and warning people not to put their iPhones in the microwave. Needless to say, if you put your iPhone in the microwave, it's going to break, because radiation does not go with computers. Computers rely on their own internal radiation. If you shoot microwaves or any other kind of radiation into them, or any other kind of strong radiation, then yeah, it's going to screw stuff up. So don't put your iPhone in the microwave. Also, don't take your phone and do this with it, because if you do, it's going to bend. Now, you can probably guess that that's not unique to the iPhone, but for some reason, a bunch of iPhone users were complaining about it this week, and it got media coverage, because apparently the media needs to cover anything it possibly can these days. So yeah, if you take your phone and you put it in your back pocket and you sit on it for an extended period of time, then it will bend. Do not sit on your phone. Do not put your phone in the microwave. Do we need to add anything else to this list? I do have an article showing multiple iPhone, Android, and possibly Windows phones that have also bent in the past. So you can see, this is a problem for any phone made out of metal. And if your phone is like mine and it's got plastic, then it's still a problem because the pieces inside don't bend like plastic does. The point is, don't bend your phone. And if you're worried about it bending, put a case on it. And if you've already bent it, then don't worry, because we have a pre-bent case. Now, what company could be so stupid as to ship a pre-bent case? Well, they didn't actually go through the whole engineering design process to do this. They basically had a 3D printer laying around and decided to start selling these. They only cost $20, so it's a cool gimmick. Actually, yeah, if it was more expensive, then it would be stupid, but it's kind of just funny, what with all of the unnecessary media coverage. I kind of like that somebody did this. Of course, it probably won't work with your bent iPhone, because even if the bend point is the same, the bend angle is probably not the same. But if it happens to be, then you can get this, or, you know, it'll probably be closer to your phone after being bent than a regular case. On the other hand, Apple also released iOS 8.0.1. Now, remember last week I talked about how iOS 8 had to drop HealthKit at the last minute, totally screwed over every developer who integrated HealthKit into their app at all. So this week they patched that problem to add HealthKit back into iOS 8, and in return you get no Touch ID and no cellular network connection. That's right. The iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus's Touch ID sensor is disabled with the iOS 8.0.1 update, reportedly, and in addition, it also prevents phones from connecting to cellular networks. Now, I doubt that it's like a flat, if you get this update, your phone will not connect, because they obviously would have caught that. I also find it hard to believe that every single phone with this update has a disabled Touch ID sensor, although if it does, that one's not a big deal, because you can just, use your passcode. But yeah, even if it's only for a small portion of phones, then that's really, first you screwed developers over, then when you were fixing that problem, then you had these bugs. People pay more for Apple devices so that they don't have to deal with this kind of thing. If you want to keep your premium name, then you should not do this. Apple apparently doesn't care about their premium name because they're making things like the iPhone 5C, and I guess they discontinued that with the iPhone 6, but still. To wrap things up this week, we've got a cool article I found in Computer World. It doesn't have any news, but it does have 10 confusing programming language features. Not confusing as in difficult to use, confusing as in why are they even there in the first place? The word the article uses is confounding. So I thought this was interesting. I'm not a huge programmer, but I, understood the logic behind some of these. For instance, in what language was it? In Ruby, the number 0 equals true. The number 1 also equals true. If you want false, you cannot just put 0, you have to actually write out false. Or nil. I think that's what that means. You can use nil instead of false. I don't know Ruby. But yeah, this is just an interesting article. If you know anything about programming at all, or even if you don't, you can head on over, read through. They provide some nice descriptions, so you'll probably get a kick out of it. For now, though, I have to get to editing this. I'm Jacob Kaufman. I'm running the street, and I will see you guys later. See ya.